I promised you a part two to the one-on-ones that I had, my throwback one-on-ones from my days at Long Beach State, my freshman and sophomore year in college. So we're going to get into these and just talk about some of the techniques that I'm using and what went wrong. If I happen to get beat in these clips, I don't quite remember what clips are coming up here. And if I did something right, which is more likely, what I did right in those clips and how you can apply it to your game. So in this particular clip, this is once again a gentleman by the name of Mark Say, who played for us at Long Beach State, ended up playing for the San Diego Chargers and played in the Super Bowl. By the way, I know many of you don't know anything about Long Beach State. They closed down the football program after my sophomore season. I will say this, we were not a very good football team my second season there, and certainly not a memorable program in terms of college football history, but we had tremendous skill player talent. The reason we weren't good was because in the trenches, we just didn't have the type of athletes that everyone else did. So along the offensive and defensive lines, we just didn't have the kind of players where you could compete there, and that's where the game is won and lost on the line of scrimmage. But in terms of defensive backs and wide receivers and running backs, we could play as well as anyone in the country. So Mark Say is a testament to that. He, again, played for the San Diego Chargers and enjoyed a pretty good career with them. So on this particular play, he is trying to take me deep. I'm playing outside leverage in cover one. So he's trying to lure me inside and then get back outside of me. So I pedal for a while. I could have pedaled a little longer, but right here he's close enough for me to turn. And the important thing here is that I maintained my outside leverage. And a lot of young DBs forget where their help is. And so if I'm playing cover one, whether pressed or off, my help is in the middle of the field, okay? My help would be here, all right? These are one-on-one, so it's not a full defense, but I would have a safety here. So it would make no sense when he starts moving in here for me to go run in here and give him this outside, because then now I'm inside, the safety's inside, and then he has the room out here. So it's important in man-to-man that you know the coverage. Do I have help? Where's my help? Use the help. Don't go out there and go on a mission and say, I'm not going to use my help. It's just me against the world. No, smart defensive backs in man-to-man use their help. And so my help would be in the middle of the field, so I maintain my outside leverage on him. Even when he tries to move me inside, I'm still going to stay outside, and you're going to see how that helps me on this particular play. He tries to lure me in, gets back out. I maintain that outside. Look at the positioning right here. This is not a winning position for the wide receiver. He's inside of me. I'm maintaining my outside leverage because it's cover one. How's he going to get to this ball that's coming here? I've essentially cut him off on the route, and one of the biggest reasons for that is that I maintained my leverage, stayed outside, didn't let him get to that ball. So I'm going to let this play. See, I'm in great position right there. Great position. All right, maintain my leverage. Don't let him get outside of me. Just stay right outside. This is the perfect position that you want to be in when a ball is coming. So here's another cover one rep, and I'm playing off, outside leverage. I'm going to maintain my leverage, but now this time, he attacks me outside just a little bit, tries to run right at my toes, and then goes inside for the post. And again, since I know I've got safety help, watch what I do at the end of this route. He goes to the post, I'm high shoulder, then I could go underneath. I know there's a safety there. And by the way, gentleman flashing across the screen is my 52-year-old DB coach. Used to play for the Oakland Raiders. He's now deceased, unfortunately. But he's still flashing his athleticism. He just wanted to show us as a unit, because we'd had some guys having a problem keeping their leverage, and he just wanted to show us where a safety would be on a particular play, and that's why you see him flashing across the screen. But nevertheless, goes to the post. I know I'm going to have help over the top, so I undercut this route. He's running to my help. No sense of both of us being over the top, because the safety is going to end up over the top right here. So no sense of us both being over the top and having a ball fall in here to the receiver. I undercut it, and also able to get a hand on the ball. All right, and this one had to use all the speed on this one. And this is when having speed as a defensive back helps. But nevertheless, having the proper angles helps too. I know I've got help over the top, so use the help. I get underneath, safety be over the top, I get a hand on the ball. Here's another cover one rep, which we ran a lot at Long Beach State. I'm playing off, I'm outside, and I'm gonna maintain this outside leverage as you'll see it right here. Receiver goes inside. I go inside just a little bit, but not too far. If you wanna go run to my safety, have my guess. I'll squeeze you there, and he's either going to get the interception on a deep ball or knock you out. And again, back in those days, you could knock the piss out of a wide receiver and not be sent off in a game. A little bit of a different time. But in this day and age, as a safety, you just go make a play on the football. You don't go run through this guy's face because you can't do that anymore. Go make a play on the football. Watch as I don't go running. I don't take the bait. I know what my leverage is. I know where my help is. So I'm not going to go running over the top of this all crazy and then allow the guy to get back outside of me. And what do you guys notice here? It's a hip flip. Why speed turn? Why would I speed turn in this case and give this guy my back and end up making a rounded turn? It's not what I need to do there, all right? So he's underneath me, all right? If he was even with me and then broke back this way, then I might make a speed turn, okay? But he's underneath me, meaning I'm up here and he's down here. No reason for me to hip flip in this particular case with him breaking back out to the corner. So I hip flip to him. I don't lose sight of him by doing the hip flip, and I'm right back on his hip. Now, I will tell you this, full disclosure, he ends up catching this ball, and the reason is I do the baseball bat swing, something I tell my guys not to do. I ended up doing. I did a baseball bat swing. This video is not, like I said, this is off of a VHS, but I do the baseball bat swing rather than just sticking my hand in his. This is something you guys want to avoid. Don't do the baseball bat swing because now you got to get lucky in that your hand meets the ball at the time the ball arrives. If you just go and stick your hand and leave it in there, when the ball gets in there, the ball will hit your hand. So don't do the swing. You get to a guy's hip and you're trying to break the pass up, stick your hand in his hands and leave it there until the ball arrives or you feel the ball hit your hands, and then you bat the ball out of the hands, and that's how you get the pass breakup. So full disclosure, guy makes a good catch here even though I'm in position because I did the baseball bat swing. But what we just need to really focus on is I kept my leverage here, and then he's underneath me, so I do the hip flip. I don't lose sight of him, and I'm right there. This one we kind of catch halfway through. I think I'm going to just let this one run and talk it through a few times. Press coverage. This guy's a fast track guy. What you're going to notice in the rep is that once I get in phase and I get hip to hip and I squeeze him a little bit, get your head around, find the football. I do go with the wrong hand at the end here, but an important thing is get your head around. It's kind of a I did catch the beginning. Sorry about that. This is the end of it, but here's me at the beginning. And so I am, this is something if I think my guys did it, I probably wouldn't be entirely happy. This guy can run, but I trusted my speed too, and I just wasn't going to give him a slant. I felt like the alignment was a little wide, so I took this inside step right now, as you see. Took the inside step to cut him off from the slant, something you would do back in those days. And then I said, hey, let's run. All right, you can run, I can run, and we're somewhere near the red zone. I know that end line of the end zone is there, and that's going to be a little bit of help for me in case you get a step on me. I could work back into it. As it turns out, I'm able to keep pace with him here. I get phase to phase, and then I get my head around, go find the football. And I saw it at the last second, just do the quickest thing that I could, which was my hand inside of his hand. So you see this in contrast to the last play where I did the baseball bat swing. Here's more of what I was talking about. Stick your hand in his hands and leave it there, and then when a ball comes through, you feel the ball hit your hands, then you know you've got yourself a pass breakup. So let's look at this again. Cut off the slant route, run to his face, get in his hip, and look for the ball. All right? And we talked about this in part 1. All right, so there it is. There's a couple more examples. The important things to get out of this particular video that I put is, number 1, know where your help is and play your leverage. You have inside help, stay outside. Don't overplay outside to where you give up too much on the inside too soon, But if you're supposed to be outside and you've got help inside, play the outside leverage. Number 2 is when you're in phase, get your head around. Get your head around. Don't just keep staring at the receiver. That's why flags are getting thrown. We're all complaining about officiating, and it's not great, and they don't really know when to call pass interference. But if you get your head around, you kind of lessen the possibility that pass interference will be called on you. The other thing is, I prefer the hip flip over speed turns. You don't want to be turning your back to a wide receiver. And when you speed turn, you're 9 times out of 10, your turn is going to be rounded. Takes you longer to get back to the wide receiver. If the receiver's underneath you and you're over the top, hip flip into him. Don't lose sight of him, and you get right back onto his hip. And then the final thing is when you're going for that pass breakup, don't do the baseball bat swing, okay? You're just trying to be lucky on that one. Stick your hands in the wide receiver's hands. Stick your hands in the basket. Ball touches your hands. You know you've got yourself a pass breakup. So that's something that usually has to be practiced. Don't do the baseball bat swing. Start practicing sticking your hand in the wide receiver's hands and then waiting for that ball to come and wrenching the ball out of there. Get your hand on the ball and poke the ball out of there. All right, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you can send me an email, cwilson@alleyesdbcamp.com. Appreciate the feedback, and I want to thank you for being a member. All Eyes DB Camp, consistency breeds results.